Okay, I think we're good to go, Miss Avery. So if we don't mind, we might as well get started.
Okay. Yeah, thank you all for joining us for our informational. So we'll go ahead and get started. So just a quick overview, GoCPS is a platform that allows families to apply to high school, which is what you and your student will be using. Applications open on October 13th at 10 a.m. And that is when you will be able to access the GoCPS platform in order to apply. This year it's broken down into 3 phases: explore, apply, and selection. So right now we're in the exploration process, and this is the time we encourage the students to think about what's best for them based on interest, geographical location, clubs, diversity programs, and any other considerations specific to your family and the student. Today we're going to go more in depth to the application process. So students are guaranteed a seat at their neighborhood school. So that's first and foremost, but there are other program types. The 2 other programs are broken into categories known as choice programs and selective enrollment programs. Listed on the slide is just a small portion of the choice programs and all of the 11 selective enrollment programs. Also, I forgot to mention, if I'm going through this and you have any questions, please just drop them in the chat and we will we'll review it after we're finished. So as part of the application process, families can select up to 20 choice programs and up to 6 selective enrollment programs. We always encourage families to apply to multiple of each of those. But it is also important to note that ranking these programs is just as important because they offer based on your rank of importance. So for example, say your student wants Peyton, but you're not sure if they'll get in, still put this as your number 1. If they're not offered a spot there, it will go to their number 2. So it's really important to make sure you're ranking where you feel is best for your student or where they most want to go. Students can receive up to 4 offers. Specific for Leonard students, they can receive up to 3. So again, that's your neighborhood school, and then 1 offer from a choice school and 1 offer for a selective enrollment school. Please note that students cannot be put on the wait list for selective enrollment schools, but can be for their choice program. So for the choice program, the selection process is through either lottery or the point system. It also makes note that there's also priority preferences. So that it can include, like, if your student has a sibling who goes somewhere, they also take into account things like tier. And we can talk more about that in a little bit. So points-based system can be a combination of any of the 5 criteria. You may notice that this year one of the criteria is a little different. Instead of NWEA, it's a high school admissions exam, and we'll talk more about that later as well. But again, it can be a combination of any of those 5 criteria. It's just based upon the school. And the school on the GoCPS website will let you know what it is that they are looking for when considering students. For selective enrollment programs, students are offered seats based on points and tier system. So students are placed in line according to their total points, which will be broken down in the next slide. 30% of available seats are filled by students with the highest score. This year it's out of 900 points. And then those remaining seats are filled by 25% of the highest scores in each tier. So this is the selective enrollment process, the point system this year. So you can see it's broken down by final grades, 7th grade grades, and the CPS high school admissions exam. So each A is worth 112.5 points, followed by 75 points and 38 points. And that is based on core subjects. So reading, math, science, and social studies. And then 450 points is based on the high school admissions exam. So 225 points are given for ELA and 225 points are given for math. So as I mentioned, the NWEA is not being administered this spring and will not be used for Go CPS eligibility or selection process for any schools or programs. Instead, it's the single admissions exam that will be available for all students applying to ninth grade. And the CPS high school admissions test will be available to current CPS students applying to ninth grade on Tuesday, November 9th of this year. It will be offered at Leonard, so all the students have to do is show up. They do have makeup days. Hopefully we won't have to go into that, but I believe they're releasing those at a later date. And then we'll go into questions, but we encourage you to go to the Go CPS website to subscribe if you haven't already. There's a contact sheet, a form you can fill out, and they will send you emails with the most recent updates and deadlines. And I'll put that email or that website in the chat. And you just fill out the form and they will send you any updated information. So I know I went through that kind of quickly. If anybody has any questions, you can raise your virtual hand or come off of mute.
What is the application start date? Like, when can you start applying to high schools?
So it opens October 13th at 10 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Davis.
I think my connection's bad, so sorry about that.
That's okay.
Can you help me understand? You were saying why did you say that Leonard students have 3? But at first you said something about 4.
Yes, I will go back to that slide. So basically, we are not at a school that has a ninth grade program. And so students who have a ninth grade program, I'm sorry, I'm not going to find this slide. They have preference there. Here we go. Okay. So if a student is enrolled in a ninth or in an 8th grade school that also serves grades 9 through 12, they're guaranteed a seat in that 9th grade class of that school. So that's what it means to be in a continuing school. But Leonard ends in 8th grade, so they don't have that opportunity to be given a seat at their continuing school. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
What's the difference between the choice schools and the selective enrollment schools?
Okay, so the difference is well, first, how they get in, but academic program choice schools, Ms. Doyle, maybe you can speak more on that. I know specifically it's the criteria for which the students are selected.
Yeah, so the choice programs can be anything from like an art school, the agricultural school, military schools. You have IB programs in the local high schools. So you would have to apply to that differently. So that would be a choice program. So like Lincoln Park IB or Morgan Park IB, those are part of your choice program. So you can put down 20 different choice programs and then your selective enrollment school. So those 11 are selective enrollment. Some of the choice schools are based on magnet or like lottery. They do preference a little bit to the neighborhood they're in, but for the most part, it's like a lottery system. Does that answer your question? And I think IB has a different, they did in the past had a different application process. You had to attend an IB meeting in order to be considered to go. I'm assuming it's the same, but I'm not really sure if they have changed the IB process as well. But here are some preferences. So it's like either lottery, The point system, I think that has more to do with those international baccalaureate programs. So those are some different priority preferences that are there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that answered that question.
Okay. Anyone else have a question?
Ms. Nguyen?
Hi. Yeah, I have the question is about the November night, the test is the total point is the 450 point, right?
That's correct. So 450 points. Oh, I was right there. So, and that's broken down by ELA and math. So 225 for math and then 225 for ELA. And more specifically, ELA is vocabulary, reading, and language. Those are the different areas that will be measured.
Okay. I saw the slide you have on the 7th grade, if the all A student is automatic have the 112 point already, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
So-
we have another, 3 something. So total is the 900 point. So 450 is from the.
So 450 is from the test. You get 50% of that. And then the other 450 is your 7th grade grades. So reading, math, science, and social studies. Those 4, if you take 100, if they got all A's, 112.5 times 4 would give you 150 points. So it's the grades plus the test for a perfect 900s would be the perfect score.
Okay, is the whoever on the 7th grade student have all A's, 78 already have the 450 point already?
Correct. If
That's
they got
true.
all A's, if they had A's in reading, math, science, and social studies, yes, then they would
Okay,
get
got it.
450 points.
Thank you.
Sure. I think Mrs. Harris has her hand raised too. Mrs. Harris, you can go ahead. Do you have a question?
Hi, yes, thank you so much. The test is going to be given at the school in November, I'm understanding. And I just wanted to know if there are any materials that we can work with our students at home to prepare them to do their absolute best on the test.
So CPS doesn't necessarily promote any specific study materials or testing test prep classes. However, we do a lot of at school to help prepare them, like Alex and Membean. Those have always proven to be very helpful when it comes to NWEA and also the admissions exam.
I know that they don't have Membeam yet, but that is in the works. It's whether CPS will approve it or not. But Miss Smollen's grammar packets, those grammar packets she does every week, those will help. The more they read, that will help. And hopefully when they do all their Membeam they've done in the past, hopefully that when we get that vocabulary program back, the kids always come back from the test and saying how much Membeam really helped them. So as soon as the CPS board would approve Membeam, then we will be able to have it again. I'm not sure. Anyone other questions?
Does selective enrollment, do the kids at Leonard get any preferential treatment or preference at all for selective enrollment schools?
No, they do not. The seats are offered based solely on the criteria for all CPS students. So again, it's the point system, the tier system, and then the testing.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't raise my hand, but is there a high school fair happening for Leonard, virtual or in person?
Yes, there is. So we're having the fair October 13th. That will give the students an opportunity to connect with representatives virtually. The week prior, students will be given a PowerPoint that has brochures and additional information from other schools that myself and the teachers will help them navigate through.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you know, last week we had a presentation from the Daniel Murphy Foundation. Your students heard about that. If they're interested in doing applying for any private schools, that is a scholarship information. That's a scholarship program. And you can go to the Daniel Murphy website. We had a presentation, like I said, with the kids last week, so they can help you out. If just an option, you can kind of go through the Daniel Murphy as well. But that would be for any private school. Most private schools in the city are one of their partners. And they're also have boarding schools they're partners with.
Hi, this is being recorded, right? So where do we access the recording?
Well, when I'm done with the recording, I will send it out. I will send the link, the recording out. I just need to wait. I'll probably send it out in the morning once it downloads. And then I'll send it to your email. Okay.
One more from me.
Sure.
For Jones, is that, I know it's probably listed as selective, but they have 2 programs. So will that count as 2 slots, and is one of them choice and one of them selective, or are they both selective?
One is choice and one is selective. So you'll want to make sure you apply for both because they are 2 different programs. And that's a really good point. I don't believe that's the only selective enrollment school that has that option. There are programs within selective enrollment schools that you can apply for when selecting choice schools. And again, this is why we recommend applying for multiple, because it's always good to have options, just making sure that number one is the school that the student go in.
Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to add about Jones. And of course, things can change, but my daughter graduated from Leonard 2 years ago. And Jones had a pre-engineering and a pre-law program because we also went to their open house, which is through choice versus the selective enrollment.
Nope, you're right. You're right. Those choice. Yeah. And after the applications open on October 13th, if you need more help navigating it, you can reach out to myself or Miss Avery. We can host another meeting if there's some confusion about how to apply. But like I said, that does not open until the 13th of October, and I believe it closes in December. Go ahead, Miss Davis.
So are charter schools in the Go CPS too? Because I think Shy Arts is charter, right?
I don't have the answer to that right now, but I can definitely get back to you on that. I know, and I'm not 100% certain on this, some charter schools have been uploaded into the Go CPS application this year. I'm not sure if Shy Arts is one of them, but I can definitely look into that.
And I know Shy Arts will have a different application process because depending, they might have to show a portfolio, they might have to audition, either song, dance, or whatever their goal is as they're getting in there. So we can always check out that website as well too.
Thank you.
I get one more question. So normally we have the register for the CPS to get the testing. We need to register for the code and then go to the application, right? Did the same of the high school too?
So from our understanding, and again, we'll update you as we receive more information, they're in the process of kind of changing the application. From my understanding, application codes will not be distributed this year. You are not in need of an application code. And then, so it should, as long as you're registered, the application should open for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Like I said, we will email this tomorrow morning. I'm not sure how long it'll take to download. If I have a chance, I'll do it tonight. And after you watch it again, if you have any questions, you can always contact us. Go ahead, Lena. What's your question?
Are you going to email it to me or just my mom?
What did you want to know if I'm going to email it to you guys as well?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll email it to, I emailed your parents about the meeting and you guys about the meeting. So I'll send them to both.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Kennedy.
Can you put the phone number inside of the chat, please?
Do you see the phone number on the screen now?
Yeah, I would like so I can copy it down and put it somewhere.
Thanks, Miss Avery.
Thank you.
Did everyone get a chance to register for additional communication through the contact website? If you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat again, just as there are updates about, for instance, the application closing. Something additionally I would like to mention is that you can go in and edit your application until the closing date. So for instance, say you're a little unsure about what you want your student and to select as their number one choice, please just select that and then you can go in and edit it until the day it closes. We don't want to get in a situation where you're not sure and you're waiting and then there are no schools. So just know that you can go in and fiddle with it until the deadline.
Go ahead, Lena, you have a question?
Yeah. Is the test going to be super hard or super easy?
Well, I'm not sure. The test is the same as the select enrollment test they've used in the past. So I guess your best bet would be to ask like the kids that have taken it before. But it seems like they always come back and they say it was easier than they thought. But
Okay.
if you want to reach out to a freshman in high school right now and see what they thought of it, but whenever they would come back, they thought it was a little easier than they had anticipated.
All right.
Lena, we can be study buddies for the test.
Yay! Go Lexi!
Ms. Doyle, you said, did we register for additional information? What was that question?
So
Yeah.
Miss Avery put in the chat, there is a Go CPS contact. And if you contact them, they will send, you'll be on an email list and they'll send you the information directly too. But we will continue to send information as soon as we get it as well. So I don't know if you can see it in the chat. Miss Avery put it in there. It's gocps.edu/contact. Okay, I think if there's no more questions for Miss Avery right now, we can.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How long is the test? Yeah, that was me.
I'm
long's the
not
test?
sure exactly how long it is. A couple hours, I would think.
Ew! I
timed?
mean, yay!
Yes, it is a time test.
Oh, Lord.
How much time do we get?
We'll look into more of that when I get more information on the test. I don't remember, but we can find out.
Do we get mints?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I did actually have my hand up.
I know. I'm trying, Miss Davis. I was
know.
with you. Okay. Thank you. You can go.
But it is kind of related to the test too. So
Okay.
I'm on the same wavelength with my child.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about the English. Would you say that, you said vocabulary, etc.
Yes.
Would you say on the math, is it through algebra?
It would be at an 8th grade level. So I know that Miss Kay always does a little bit review heading into it. So I don't think it'd be beyond algebra, maybe a little bit geometry. So it'd pretty much be an 8th grade level test.
There's a lot of 7th grade probability on the test.
Thank you.
There's like no slope or any of that type of algebra on the test.
That we know of.
Well, so I ask my students every year, like, what's on the test? What's on the test? They said a lot of probability.
Thank you.
Wait, what's probability again?
Uh-oh.
So mean, median, mode,
That, yeah.
graphs,
Okay.
right? And understanding like the relationship between proportions. That's really important. That's going to be on it.
Okay, thank you.
I'll set up a study guide for you girls.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the best. Woo!
I would hope so, Lyric. And we can talk with Ms. K more about the math. But, okay. And we'll review a little bit before. Okay, so then I'm going to switch to share my screen. Let's see. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see my screen here. So we're going to talk a little bit about our 8th grade trip. As of now, it's still a go. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks or couple of months. So we'll talk all about this. So and I'm sorry, they sent me, and it had audio, but for some reason my audio is not working now. It was working earlier. So our company we travel with is called World Strides. Okay, so we're gonna look, a little bit about who World Strides is, why they're passionate about it. We're gonna talk about our trip itinerary, sorry, and then a little safety measures. Like I was very curious on what health and safety measures they were talking and what we would have to do. So that's all detailed as well. Okay, so it says trip you'll remember for a lifetime. So this was the very first World Strides group that went, and I think they said it was like in 1967 that an 8th grade teacher took their trip to DC. He left teaching and he started then this company, World Strides. So you can see they've been going for 54 years. Over 9 million students, they've traveled around the world, not just to DC. They would set up any type of trip. They have over 500,000 students that travel with them yearly. 10,000 teachers. They go to all 50 states. It's the #1 educational tour company. It's accredited, and they have over 1,000 employees, support staff here. Like they're kind of headquartered outside of DC, but they always are very easy to get a hold of on the phone. And since it's in DC, they're right there with us. Okay, so why travel? They said students, according to their data, students that travel are 32% more likely to attend college. They said they attend a higher college GPA, are 16% more likely to study abroad in college. I'm not really sure where they got this data from, but I'm going to just read their data. For a career boost, students that travel at 21% are more likely to be full-time employed. They report higher earning. The long-term benefits, 88% felt the trip had a positive impact on their education. They agreed the trip made them better world citizens, and 80% felt the classroom experience might be the most impactful. I know that we've taken the kids. They've always had a great time. When I've talked to them after graduation, this is always one of the highlights of their year. It's something they really look forward to. And unfortunately, we haven't traveled in 2 years. So those kids didn't have the same opportunities. Okay, so here's some sample highlights of the trip. So we fly out in the morning. So we usually get an early flight out of Midway. We have the kids come here. We take a school bus to Midway, so we all arrive together. And then when we get there, our tour guide meets us at the airport. We get on the bus and we start touring right away. So you can see some really great places that we travel to. Arlington Cemetery. We see all the memorials, the Vietnam Memorial, Lincoln, Jefferson, Martin Luther King. I said Jefferson, the whole Vietnam Memorial, Korea Memorial. We do the entire mall from end to end. We also, the Pentagon, the different museums that we go to, the Smithsonian of American History, the Air and Space Museum, African American History. There's so much that we do. So we usually have 3 full days of travel and 2 nights that we would say. It's really not a vacation. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so here is the details of our trip. So the trip ID number is up on top, and we'll talk about why that's important. Our planned travel dates this year is we would leave Tuesday the 31st, so that's the Tuesday right after Memorial Day, and we would travel the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd. So we would leave early on the 31st and return late on June 2nd. Hopefully, we will still be able to fly in and out of Midway. And then I will ask the parents to pick us up at Midway at that night, on that Thursday night when we return. The cost of the trip. So the student price is about $1,500. It is all inclusive. It is everything from the flight to the transportation to our meals, entrance into anything. Another one we go to is we go to the Holocaust Museum, which is a paid event, so that's covered. We've gone to the Spy Museum, which is an admission, but that is covered. So everything is covered. The only thing your student would need to bring would be spending money, and there's really honestly not a lot of time to shop. It says our registration deadline is the 15th of October. If you're still on the fence deciding, you can extend that date. They've asked for, by that date, to hold your spot, $99 required. And then they do have payment programs. When you sign up, you can do all of those things. So a couple of things it says, you can receive $100 off the trip price for signing up within 48 hours of tonight's parent meeting, if that's something that you want to do. If you sign up by next Friday, it says you'll enter to win $100. It's up to you. I know it's a hard choice to make right away, especially with how things are going in the world right now. So this is something that I really recommend, and that would be a full refund protection. So it is an extra $180, but if something happens, not so much like things get closed down, then that's different. But something happens with your family, then you would get all your money back. I can give you an example. My son had signed up to travel when he was a senior in high school, and he got sick about 3 weeks before. And thank goodness we had a refund. We had paid the insurance. He got all his money back. If he wouldn't have signed up for that, he would not have gotten any money back at that point. So not to add extra money on you, but it really helped our family out. I mean, I know he worked really hard all summer caddying and trying to earn money for his trip, so he was able to get all his money back. So if that's something you might be interested in, and then there's the information where you can register at still. There is a way you can earn academic credit through travel. You can do some online courses. When you're traveling, this online credit, you can find out more through the company. I think it has a lot more to do with high schools, like you could get college credit, but you are always able to take academic credit through it. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it works because we've never had anybody do it, but if you're something you're interested in, I can definitely find out more about that for you. There is a financial assistance. They said about $2.5 million in financial aid, is given out each year. So families with an annual adjusted gross income of $85,000 or less may qualify for it. And then that is the number. And like I said, I am definitely going to share all this PowerPoint in this recording for you, so you can look at any phone numbers if you need to call. So giftification, you can have people help sponsor you if that's something that your family wants to do. Your students can send out those links, and anything that get back, maybe at Christmas, say, hey, I would like to go on this trip for Christmas this year. Maybe I would like money for my trip. And then there's a way that you can do that. There's little fundraisings you can do through the trip, through this World Strides. There's always payment plans, which a lot of our students do. So they pay monthly on it. And all that is through World Strides. Leonard doesn't take any money. You sign up through the company. You pay the company. I honestly usually have no idea who pays and who didn't pay. I just get a roster at that point. So I don't know if that's helpful for you. That was always helpful at our house as well. So when you're signing up, you could select the pay monthly option, and then you'll see your initial deposit and then your monthly payments accounts. And then they would direct you from there how you want to sign up. So here's the thing. They said, you know, my biggest thing was safety and health with our representative. And they've already said they've had people travel. I couldn't believe that they said they had people in DC in the summer, the spring and the summer, and people are traveling this year. I know we haven't been able to get out of our school yet, but she said they've already had, you know, thousands of kids travel. So from the minute you arrive, we have a tour guide and a bus driver. And these are experts. They're going to meet us. They're going to help us with our luggage. They're going to get us to our motor coach. We have experienced drivers. You know, when we go, it seems like every middle schooler from DC, every middle schooler from the US is in DC, but our drivers are great. They have a lot of experience. We have the tour guides are very knowledgeable and they'll lead us the entire way. At our hotel, so usually how the day goes, and this is we will come back and we'll kind of debrief. I'll let the kids hang out for a little while, and I say that we'll have a team meeting. And at the team meeting, I give them more food. I'll say everyone needs to call their families. And this is the part they hate the most, is then when they go to bed, I take their phone, they turn it off, I charge their phones for them. They can't get their phones back until the morning, until they meet me at breakfast. So this has twofold reasons. One, just, you know, we don't want pictures taken inappropriate and sent, not that they would, but just in case. And two, it gets them to breakfast right away. You will all have my cell phone number. So if something was to happen in the middle of the night, you can call me. In the past, Miss Sims is gone. You'd have Miss Sims' phone number, and we would make sure, you know, we would get your child. The company provides night chaperones. So if I say to the kids, okay, we're in the room by 11 o'clock, you have to stay in your room. There is a night chaperone that sits in our hallway. And if you come out of the room, they'll tell you to get back in your room. If they get out again, then I get a knock on my door. So they're there from like 11 to 7 a.m. in the morning. So that's around the clock. They're staffed 24/7 by employees. They're always trained. There's always a hotline that you can always call. There's a doctor on call with the program. Say if someone gets sick, they will make sure we get medical attention. And then travelers, their insurance they're covered under any liability, accidents, illness, accident-related dental insurance, anything like that is covered. I believe that's everything. So if you would like to sign up, again, and I did send home with the kids last week, we kind of talked about it, some brochures. But if you want to sign up, I'll send out this recording and everything you need is there. I know that was a whole lot, and I have a feeling we might have a lot of questions. So I'll kind of stop sharing. I'll answer as best I can. And if I can't answer the question, I will definitely write it down and I will get back to you by tomorrow with it. So another thing that we've always done is we do not take parents with. It's usually myself and another chaperone from the school. Usually Miss Sims has come with. Will the youth have individual rooms? Nope. Wait, I talked to the kids. There will be 4 in a room, and I will let the kids pick their, you know, when the time comes, I'm like, okay, here's who's going on the trip. You guys figure out your rooms, who you want to be in your rooms. So there's definitely 3 to 4 people. Oh, thanks. I'm so glad that you use them. I do. I love them too. Any other questions? Sure. Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
I didn't know if the itinerary included the African American History Museum, and was that still a possibility, or?
Yes, absolutely. We started going a few years ago, but that is definitely on our Smithsonian list.
Okay, thanks.
And so what we do when we go into the museums, I'll say to the kids, listen, you have 1 hour. Go see as much as you can. We don't walk around in a group. They know they cannot leave the museum. There's so much to see in all the Smithsonians. So I'm like, just see as much as you can see and then meet me back in an hour. And that's how we've worked it before. We give them, and they will have their phones with them their entire day. I just take them when they go to bed. I think Mrs. Davis had her hand up too. I had a question.
I took it down when you said they have their phones.
Oh yeah, no. I just take them at night. That's all. But yeah, they have them all day long. And there's usually Wi-Fi on the bus and a place to charge your phone on the bus.
That's
It's a coach
fancy.
bus. What, Lena?
I just said it was fancy.
It is. Yeah, we have a nice coach bus, not the school bus. A nice official coach bus. And I tell the kids, like, I buy snacks for them ahead of time, so they're full of snacks. They will not go hungry on this trip whatsoever. Breakfast is usually provided in the hotel, and then we'll stop for lunch and for dinner. Usually they'll get a voucher. We've gone to like food courts, and they'll get like $10, $12. Like last time, I think it was $10. So say you bought lunch and it cost you $5, that's it. You get to pocket the other money. If it costs $15, then you got to pony up $5. So it's up to you. Oh, Mr. Moore, you had another question. Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. That was Any other questions as you're thinking about it? Anything else? I'm really, really hoping that we can travel. We're going to pretend like life is normal and just set it up. And if something happens where we can't travel, then we'll figure that out when the time comes.
What about CPS requirement? Like, are you requiring that all of the 8th graders be vaccinated in order to go? Because, like, right now they said, like, if you're not vaccinated, then you have like a 5 or 10-day quarantine period or whatever if you leave the state.
Right. So I'm hoping come June, things will be different, but I'm not sure. But I can find that out. And honestly, that is a question that we've never had to address before, but I can find that out for sure. That's one thing I totally forgot about. Thank you for bringing that back up. Vaccines.
That depends on the state. So our class trip is to New York in April. And because New York is requiring all of our kids be vaccinated, that is a requirement. So it depends on where you're going and their requirements. So if the museums in DC are requiring everybody to enter, have vaccines, then that'll be the case.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, we're using the same company. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Have you used them before? Do you like them?
Yes, they are really great. We went to DC a few years ago, our entire middle school, and they were absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Wen, you have a question also?
Yeah. What about if you don't know how many parents will be signed up go to the trip? So if only like just few people, did the trip still going to?
I'm not sure. Well, we have 21 students. I think I asked for, I'm hoping at least half of us could go. So that would be 10.
So even if only 10 students sign up, so they still can go and go, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyone else? Mr. Moore, is your hand still up or no? Do you have another question?
No, that's the same. My hands.
Okay.
They haven't been put down.
Okay, Miss Davis.
That's my daughter over there.
Oh, it came up as Miss Davis and not as Lena on the chat.
That's crazy. Okay. Can I like give my GoFundMe so they can send it to all their friends so we can get money?
Well, here's what we can talk quick about fundraising. I typically don't fundraise for the trip because the money wouldn't go for everyone in the 8th grade. We do fundraise heavily for graduation fees. Last year we couldn't fundraise at all, and grad fees were like $250. In the past, we fundraised like crazy, and my graduation fees were $60. So I try and lessen it on that end because I know that this could be expensive. So if there's only 1 or 2 boys go, so I know with the boys, there's only 3 boys. So we said those 3 boys would be in the same room. If there's only 2 of them that go, then a lot of times too, we get on our bus with another school because our school is small. We get paired with another school, and we'll travel with them. Only one time it happened that there was one boy from another school, so he joined our kids. So if that is the case, then maybe we'd have to pair up with one of them If there was only one boy going, I think if there's two boys going, then they would just, the two of them be in their room together. Okay.
Is there so? Yeah, I'm sorry. So we'll be on the bus. Will we have then other school together?
So because we say, for example, we only have 21 kids and that bus can hold 60 kids, we might be paired up with another school that has 20 kids as well. So we would just share the same bus. We would stay in the same hotel. One year, the kids really interacted really well together and they hung out. They had phone numbers afterwards. Other years, the schools just kept to themselves. But we just share a bus with them. And we'll probably share like a breakfast room in the morning with them.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I'm not putting hands down, but Mrs. Davis, I see your hand is up again. Is that the case? Okay.
Yeah, that's for me this time.
Okay.
But it's kind of to piggyback with Lena. She's been excited about fundraising. So, and she kind of took off on her own. So I'm just not sure. Maybe she's fundraising for herself, even though originally she thought she was fundraising for the trip.
Well, we talked in class how it wasn't so much fundraising for the trip as a group, but she did come to me. We had discussed a lot of other ideas to fundraise overall to help like make other fees less. But I suggested if like people want to fundraise on their own outside of school for this trip, go ahead and that's great. I just can't have us all fundraise for the trip if we're raising money and not every kid's going on the trip. But we do, we have other fundraising we do for graduation, like the talent show, if we can have it. We did Pie Day, Winter Festival, we would do Split the Pot. There was talk of having a rummage sale with the 8th grade and selling things. There was talk about making bracelets and selling those. So we do need to get our ideas together before the next LSC meeting so we can give them our proposals.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
We'll work together to help Lena to kind of
Yeah,
figure
we're
out
the
what's
dream team.
Okay, great. Miss Williams, do you have a question?
Oh, is my hand raised?
I think it was Kimberly Williams that whose hand was up.
Ah, okay.
Other Williams. Okay. The other Miss Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will we be having another meeting?
Not necessarily. We can
Okay.
have another meeting if we want, like when the high school application comes out, if you need help with that.
Okay.
With the trip meeting, just so you know, anyone that is going on the trip, we will have hopefully an in-person meeting like in May, like a last final wrap-up meeting where we go over like directions and the kids get backpacks and things like that. Anyone else have a question? Just go on and jump in.
So
Wait,
would
we
you
get
say?
free.
Go
Don't
ahead.
get free backpacks. They're talking about how
She
you
just said back.
Okay, and one group we had did, but I'll set you guys up with like you get snacks and stuff like that.
So would you say once we register, then any other communication would be with World Strides?
Absolutely.
And so then you're saying then the Leonard communication would be in May.
Correct. So when you register, all the money and everything will be with World Strides, and that it would all be taken care of through them. But then in May, we would have like a big group meeting of who's traveling with the kids. So we go over rules, what time we have to arrive. There's forms I have to have you fill out. I make sure I have everyone's cell phone numbers, things like that. So we just do like a pre-trip meeting. But hopefully that will be in person and not until May. Okay, Lena, I see your hand up.
Can Miss Avery come?
It depends on how many kids registry. I'm trying to talk Miss Avery into coming with. She's
Yeah.
excited about it. Yeah. Mr. Moore, I don't know why I keep saying your hands up. I'm just double checking. Do you have another question or is that an old question?
Nope, I don't have a question.
Okay, I don't know why it keeps popping up that it's your hand. Okay, cool.
Ms. Doyle, is it possible that I can talk to you after this meeting? This is Kim Williams.
Sure, I will. Once everyone leaves, I'll stop recording and then we can have a conversation. Anyone else? have questions? Even if you want to live with it for a little while and look at the slides, that's totally fine. If you have any questions that I can help you with, I will. I can find out the answers. I can get a hold of World Strides if that's what you need. Okay, Lena, what's your question?
For the rooms, what about the non-binary people? Where do they go?
Like I said, I was going to let you guys pick your rooms.
But what if?
I say, here's who's going. You guys arrange your rooms.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys know who you hang out with, and so I'll let you pick your friends. So if you don't have any questions, it's 5:51. We can end a little bit early. And then as soon as this downloads, I will be able to send it to you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. If you have any suggestions, anything else, just let us know.
Thanks, Ms. Dora. Bye-bye.
Bye, Lena. Bye. Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
We don't have homework, do we?
You're the one that wrote down the homework, Aubrey.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks,
Yeah,
bye.
you're in charge of the homework board. Okay.
Miss Doyle, are you having a track meet tomorrow for cross country?
Are you getting our emails? I sent a bunch of emails out. Do you get our emails?
No, but Kyla mentioned it to me.
Okay.
But I have not been receiving those.
Okay. Can you just type your email in the chat really quick, and then I will send it to you as soon as we hang up. Like, I'll approach you the information. I'm sorry. We asked the kids. We said, please go home and double check with your parents that you're getting our emails.
Okay, because last week she mentioned that there wasn't one, but then she said at the last minute it was changed and there was one.
No, we always had them the past 2 Thursdays. Last Thursday was supposed to be at West Chatham Park, but then we moved it to Leonard.
Okay, so that was already planned. It didn't change at the last minute?
Correct. It did not change.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have 2 more meets left. We have tomorrow, and then we have one October 16th at the Ag School. I'll forward you the email as soon as I hang up with the information that we sent to the families.
Okay, what time do you start tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the girls, 7th and 8th grade girls go off at 4:30, I believe, and we asked for the kids have to get their own rides there because we don't have money for the bus.
Okay, all
but
right.
it's all in the email, and I'll forward it as soon as we hang up.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to try and see if I can get off work. I have a meeting, but I'm going to try and cross my fingers, see if I can be there.
It's supposed to be a beautiful afternoon, so it'll be a good day to run.
I hope so. Thanks.
Okay, I'm actually going to stop recording. Make sure we end it up. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Have a good one. Okay, thanks. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
So we're not recording anymore.
Okay.
What can I help you with?
Don't know. I think out of the loop. Had Mr. Moore not contacted me, I don't even know if I would know there was a meeting today. So I don't know if you all have my.
Okay, so that is my question. Are you getting the emails, our weekly emails from Ms. Smolin?
I am.
Okay, because I'm just using the email list that's in Classroom. So let me tell you the email that I have for you. If you could just wait 1 second, I can switch screens and tell you which email I have for you. Let me go to Classroom. You are 8th grade homeroom, people. Hold on, let me find Kimora. And then the email I have for Kamora's family. Where are you, Kamora? Williams. I don't know if I have your email with them. So I've just been emailing off my Classroom.
Okay.
So that's how I've been doing that. If you can give me your email, I can add it to this.
Okay, yeah. This meeting and then the last meeting. Definitely.
This was the only meeting. This was our only meeting we had, except we did have a back to school night, but that was in Miss Smolin's. Okay, let's see. What email do I have here? I'm sorry. This is the email I have for you. KW289291 @gmail. I'll copy and
No.
paste. I can
No.
put that in the chat. Okay, so what is your email? That's what pops up for me.
I don't know why. I don't know who that is. I'm
Okay.
K.L. Williams.
K.L. Williams. Okay.
Williams
Okay.
4
Okay.
at Yahoo.
Is it the number 4 or after you are? The number
The
4?
number 4.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's at, what is it at?
Yahoo.
Yahoo. Because it was also in Miss Mullen's email that I put it in. And I think it was also in, so you get Miss Mullen's emails every week?
I do.
Okay, because this information was in that email. And I think it was also in Miss Sims' email that she sent. Do you get Miss Sims's weekly email?
Not directly from Miss Sims. I get a Leonard email.
Okay, but it's signed by Miss Sims then at the end. So I'm just trying to make sure that
I
everyone
believe so.
has your emails. Okay, I can add this to our email and make sure that you get all of that. I'm sorry, like I kind of asked the kids. I'm like, this is another reason too. I sent Kimora the information as well, so she's had this information for a week or two about the meeting, and I sent her another. Like I sent it to all the parents last week and the kids last week, and then I sent it again today to the parents and today to the kids.
I was looking and looking. I'm like, I don't see anything. But
Okay.
okay, as long as we're together now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really sorry about that, but I will put that in there.
Okay.
I'll leave
And
that
you're
there.
gonna email because I missed some stuff at the beginning, as far as the high schools go. This is a very stressful procedure for me.
No, I
don't know
totally
what choice
understand.
to make. Oh my God, this is so stressful for me.
I totally understand. And it's going to take just a little bit to download on my computer. And once I can get it downloaded, then it'll either be tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. It will go out.
Sure.
And I'll make sure I'm all right. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good evening.
You too.
Okay.